What's going on, guys? Faraz Khan here, and today I'm going to be covering 5 of the best exercises that you can do that are going to help you get rid of your knee pain. Specifically, if you have patellar tendinopathy or patellar tendinitis or jumper's knee. Patellar tendinopathy is the degeneration of the collagen around the tendon. Patellar tendinitis is the inflammation of the tendon. Now, it is extremely important that you first consult with a doctor or a professional so that you can accurately get diagnosed with your condition. If you don't know what condition you have and you just start doing exercises, then you may even be doing more harm than good, especially if you have something serious like an ACL tear, MCL tear, or some sort of structural damage within the knee. That's why it's just so important for you to understand exactly what you have, and then you can actually do the exercises that are going to help your specific condition. Now, that being said, let's get into some of these exercises. The first exercise I'm going to cover are reverse walks. Reverse walks are absolutely incredible. They're going to help to strengthen your quads without putting any strain on the knee itself. Typical movements such as knee flexion are very aggravating to somebody with patellar tendinitis or tendinopathy. But because the amount of knee flexion in a reverse walk is minimal, you're able to fully extend that knee and strengthen the quad muscle itself without straining the joints or the tendon. And this is great because there are so many different ways you can do this. You can simply just walk backwards for about 10 minutes. You can do this in the park, in your house. You can do it on a treadmill. And the best way to do it on a treadmill, you can either have it going at a slow speed, or you can even just turn the treadmill off and then walk backwards, and you're actually pushing against quite a bit of resistance. It's gonna burn a lot, but it's so great. You can also use a sled. You can use a resistance band with a partner. There's so many different ways you can do a reverse walk, and I typically like to do this for about 5 to 6 minutes if I'm using some resistance, or 10 minutes if I'm doing it with no resistance. And I like to do this before a workout because that's going to give you a really nice warm-up. It's going to have your knees feeling great. It's going to have your muscles all nice and activated, and you're going to feel ready to get into the rest of your training. The second exercise I want to cover is the isometric Spanish squat. Now, this is such a wonderful movement because, again, you're getting so much strengthening without placing too much stress on the knee itself. So what you're going to need is a thick band. You're going to place it around a sturdy structure, and you want to actually step both feet into that band and place the band directly behind the kneecaps. You're going to step back so that you have tension pulling your knees forward, but you want to resist that tension. From here, you're just going to kind of sit back, and this is where you can play with the angle. If you have a lot of knee pain and it's pretty difficult for you to get low, then you don't need to get low. Just work within a higher angle. Go for about 45 seconds of you resisting that tension and resisting that pull forward, and then relax. As you get better, you can start getting lower and lower, and you want to even work up to about 90 seconds with this, and you're gonna see how much strength you gain. And this isn't just good for the muscle, it's also good for the patellar tendon. So specifically, if you have patellar tendinitis, this is one that's really gonna help to strengthen that up and get you back to performing at 100%. When I'm doing this exercise, I typically go for about 4 to 5 sets at 45 seconds at first, and then, like I said, I like to work my way up to 60 seconds, 75 seconds, and then even 90 seconds. And once you get very good at this, you can start doing some more advanced variations, such as the single leg isometric Spanish squat. You can even do a Spanish squat itself where you're coming up and down. And this is a very good way to actively work that knee flexion and extension without having too much pressure and stress on the joint. Another thing that you can do with this very same band and position is called the terminal knee extension. This is great because the extension and flexion is going to be very minimal. So if you have a lot of inflammation or a lot of pain, then this is another way where you can start to strengthen up the quads without putting too much stress on it. And of course, if the band is too thick, then you can totally use a lighter one. For this one, I do like to go higher reps, so about 2 to 3 sets of 15 reps per side. The third exercise, which is very similar to the second, is gonna be a wall sit. And this is similar because it's gonna do the same thing of strengthening the quads as well as that patellar tendon. The great thing about the wall sit is that you can do it almost anywhere. Now, the thing is, when it does come to wall sits, is a lot of people don't actually do them correctly. You don't just want to sit your back onto the wall and sit there. No, you want to actually push your hips into the wall. What that's going to do is it's going to put a lot more pressure on the tendon itself. And you're going to realize when you're pushing with a lot of high effort, you're not even going to be able to keep that up for longer than 10 seconds or even shorter, depending on how you feel. So what I like to do is I like to, again, work within a range that I'm comfortable with. Ideally, you would like to be at about 90-degree angle with your hips and your knees, but if you're just starting out, you can have your hips a little bit higher. So you're gonna sit back and then you're gonna really push the hips into that wall. And I like to go for about 5 seconds. Yes, that's all you need. 5 seconds at first. Work your way up to 10 seconds. And I'm telling you, when you're pushing with max effort, you are really gonna feel it. All right. This is totally different than if you're just sitting back on the wall like you can read a book, for example. You shouldn't feel that way. All right. So you can even work up to 15 seconds with this. And then, of course, you want to get lower and lower as you get more comfortable, as you get stronger, and as that knee pain goes away. From this position here, you can start to work single leg, and the same progression follows. Start with about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, get lower. I do multiple sets of this since we're doing it for just very short amount of time. I might go anywhere of even 10 sets of 5 to 10 seconds. Fourth exercise that I'm going to cover is one of my all-time favorites. This is the reverse Nordic curl. This is, again, something so great because it can be done anywhere. You don't need any equipment. And I actually do this exercise every single day. Okay, that doesn't mean you should. Okay, but I do it every single day, just 2 reps. And I've been doing this for over 3-4 years now. And thankfully, I do not have any knee pain. I've never had knee pain where I needed to take time off of training. And hopefully, I never do have knee pain. But anyways, how to actually do this exercise, you're going to kneel onto the floor. You can either have your toes pointed towards your shin or you can have it flat. It's really up to you and your preference when it comes to comfort. What you're going to do from here is you want to straighten out your hips and you want to lower down as far as you can while keeping your hips nice and straight. This is going to stretch and strengthen the quads at the same time. Once you get to that lowest position that you're able to maintain that hip position, then you're going to come back up and then you're going to repeat. You're going to find that when you go really low with control, that even just doing 5 reps is very challenging. All right. That's why I only do 2 a day. But if you're somebody who's actively dealing with this pain, then it is going to be quite a bit of stress on you at first. So you might only be moving a couple inches and then that's it because it's too high of pain. So you just need to work through this. You need to be very patient and not push yourself past any limits that you cannot handle. So if I'm doing this as part of a workout, then I will do 2 to 3 sets of just 5 reps aside. And then as a maintenance, I'm doing just 1 to 2 reps each and every day. And once you get really good, you'll even be able to get your back all the way to the floor and then back up. And the final exercise, which is my all-time favorite, the Nordic hamstring curl. Very similar to the reverse Nordic, except you're going the opposite direction. This is going to help to stretch and strengthen the hamstrings at the same time. Now, just a disclaimer, this is a very tough exercise, all right? Not only is it tough on the hamstrings themselves, but it's very challenging to execute. I'm making it look very easy because I've been doing this for a long time. When I first started, I did not have this much control, nor was I able to even come back up. And chances are, if you've never tried this before, then you will not be able to control yourself down fully, nor will you be able to come back up. Now, that's okay because we all have to start somewhere. So what you can do is you can actually use your hands to stop yourself from just crashing into the floor, and you can push yourself back up. You can also have a partner to hold your chest, or you can have a resistance band around your chest to assist you down and then even assist you up. And you can use partial range of motion and then work to doing some full range of motion. The most important thing here is you want to be able to have some control. It's all right if you have a slight bend in your hips, as that's going to put you in a more mechanical advantage to help you to actually lower and come back up. But you don't want to have such a deep bend in the hip, then you're going to miss out on a lot of that strengthening in the hamstring itself. And there are so many ways that you can do this exercise. My favorite way is doing it on a decline bench, or you can use a barbell and have some weights to stop you from moving. You can also do this under a couch. couch, under a car. There are so many different ways to do this. It is very challenging and you're gonna get very sore. So I don't even do this one too often. I only do this once a week and I do 3 sets of 5 reps. If you're just starting, you may even want to condition yourself a little bit more. You can go for some higher reps because you're not going to be able to come back up. So you can start with about 8 reps and then work your way down the more and more that you get comfortable with coming up with it. So yeah, get it, let's do it. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and share it with everybody else you think can benefit. If you have any specific questions, leave it in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. And thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna see you guys soon.